I've listened to different videos that other people have done when you ask them the same question, and they for me, coming from the point of view of they sort of say, oh, Stevie's a magician, and you can't really understand what he does. So I'm going to try and categorize it into two parts. There are parts that you can see and you can feel happen, and there are parts that, plainly to say, are subconscious. They're the mechanics of the things that go on in the things that he's telling you, for me, on a weekly basis, because I believed it was more important for me to have meetings with Stevie weekly. You could have had them in different stages, but for me, it keeps the momentum going. So the parts that you can see and feel, the accountability, the structure, the information that he's giving you to ensure that you've got the right team around you and the processes that you need to follow. Those are all things that you can see. Then there's a subliminal unconscious things that he will embed inside of you and basically change the way in which you think and the psychology that you've got for your own personal life, but also the psychology of your business. For me, that frames what he does and what the pathway does for you a lot better than he's a magician and it just happens. For me, there's concrete things that you can physically see, and there are things that go on behind the scenes that you can't see, but all of a sudden you get this and you understand it. It's a process, it's a path, you have to follow it. It's been a year. It doesn't feel like it's been a year. There's been ups and downs, but that's just me fighting probably my psychology. It's been an amazing journey, and I can't wait for what the next steps are. Wow. The way in which I think, the way in which I approach my day, the way in which really my thought process now is taking place, but there's still things going on that I can feel are changing. I think there's a phrase that Stevie uses a lot, and I think he's put a post the other day. It's called the whisper, and there's a lot of whispers that go on, and you have to teach yourself to start listening to them. Finding the time to exercise, but not necessarily exercise because you want to be the fittest person on the planet, but it gives you time for your brain to do what it needs to do. So certainly, it's been 12 months ish now that I've stopped drinking, and that was easy. It was just easy because I understood why I needed to do it. It's still going on. I would say notable changes are certainly I've stopped drinking, which has been 12 months. The way in which I approach my day, the fitness side of things, and in general, I just feel better. I mean, those are personal things. When we talk about the business, it's on a trajectory that I can't really tell you when it's going to stop. I always wanted to go in that direction, but now I can start to see that path certainly in a better way. Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing way of looking at business and life. I've got it up here. I've got my 7 forces up there. We talk about it on a daily basis, the different areas that we're working on, the different lanes. When he talks to you, he talks about the lanes which you put in. So, I mean, ultimately, you could look at a very large motorway with 7 lanes on it, and each of them have got different elements that you are pushing forward in. So that framework makes it easier, but also it's a framework that is backed by, some big people, Tony Robbins. So it's a tried and tested process, and I'm overwhelmed to be a part of that. 100%. I would say that the pathway, you have to have that part. It's integral. And before I started with Stevie to take on a coach, you heard different things and you've heard how some coaches work. Stevie's concern, and it is the word really is the word concern, is total. It's not he's bringing you on as a coach to teach you how to do things or show you what to do in business. He totally appreciates and understands, and that comes from the fact that whilst he's helping and teaching you, he's doing exactly the same for his business. So it's not one of those, if you can't do, teach. He's doing and teaching at the same time. The credibility is there. But yeah, I mean, it is about self, and it's about business, and it's about you as a human being and what you need to do to grow, to achieve the goals that you want in business and in life. My weekly sessions, they're imperative for me. You can do so much in a week and you can feel so many things. And for me, it grounds me. You know, I'm about to go on holiday now for 2 weeks, and those will continue. I'm not going to stop them because I'm away. It's important to have them. For me to have that person to check in with, to keep you honest, to keep you accountable, and just to bring you back. And sometimes, you know, I can just say to you, I don't say a word. I just sit and listen. It happens that way. And he knows, because he just talks and he can see that it's probably sinking in. And I don't need to say much. He's not sitting there grilling me. We go through some things and he asks me some questions and I give him some feedback. He talks to you, he talks to me, and brings me back into a place of focus. %. You have to let go of the wheel, and believe, for lack of better phrasing, that the direction that you're going in will help you achieve your personal and business goals. It may seem odd or strange to let go in that way. It's not like he's taking the wheel and he's driving your business and you let go and you don't do any work. That's completely ridiculous. He can only show you the direction to go in, and then you've got to do the work. But you have to trust in that process. You have to trust the fact that what he's saying, what he's doing, and the signpost that he's pushing you towards, you need to follow that. You can fight it, of course you can, but then it would be completely pointless in doing the pathway, in spending the money, the time, and having the support around you, if you're then going to not follow it and ignore it. So sometimes literally I am just hands off and let it follow, which is why I think it's also so important that I have these weekly check-ins, because it brings you back in. You know, you can have a shit week, you can have a shit day, which is why for me it's so important to circle back and come back in. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I thought at the beginning of this process that I was. Why would I say that? Because I've always had my own businesses. I've always been able to look at something and then try and turn it into a business. I have got that entrepreneurial mind, but having that feeling inside of you, I would say that Stevie has solidified that, because he's explained to me the different things that I should be doing to make sure that I'm utilizing the entire skill set that I've got and the skill set that I'm now learning in the pathway to push things forward. So yeah, 100%. I feel so much more confident and sure that I am. Well, night and day. It's literally a year. It's been a year. I went to the Maldives last year at this time. It was at the beginning of August. It was like the 5th or something like that. So we've done a year, and I think I started I can't remember if I had my first session before I went or when I came back, but it literally it's been a year, and I can honestly say I'm a different person. Is the pathway something that you should involve yourself in or get involved in if you're stuck, if you're looking to gather the tools, to gather direction, to gather the momentum in life and in business? Don't forget for a second, this is coaching, but it's not Garrett, it's not written down as Stevie Kidd business coaching. It's not that. It's the pathway in life. If that life is that you choose the direction of business, and also you want to change things in your personal life, great. The two will come together. But certainly, if you're stuck and you want to have a direction and you feel that you are more and can be more, don't hesitate. Jump on a call, speak to Stevie, speak to Ryan, and they will explain to you the process. But then you've got to get stuck in and you've got to do the work. Doing the work is imperative. Yeah, in terms of pace, the pace is set by you. Stevie can talk to you and he can explain to you concepts, processes, subliminal thinking, psychological thinking. But again, how quickly you adopt those strategies and use them is going to be set by you. He can't push you to do that. And that's the beauty behind it. He's not going to push you to a point where you not get it. Because if you're not getting it, you're not going to use it, you're not going to implement it, and it's not going to go any further. That being said, he will push you at times because he needs to. That's what any good coach will do. They will see where you are, seeing that you're stuck, reframe what is being said, and make sure that you grab it. I would say, because of the work that I'm doing on the pathway, the team has always been great, but certainly the feeling that I'm sending down from the top, I think we're more cohesive. I think that we're sharing more. I think that their belief in what can happen is changing. You know, running a business from the top, you have to be able to get people to believe in your story. And I think that now they can see that there's certainly some mechanics and some structure and some organizational things that are happening. And I'm involving them in that process. You know, certainly with yourself, you know that we're working very hard on the social media side and we're doing work with them. So in terms of the team, that's what's happening there. And they can see and feel that their involvement in it is also imperative. So yeah, and I think there's more to come on the team side of things, because when I get to a certain point, I will want to involve the team in this process as well, as other companies are doing, because I think that it can only help. If you're helping your team, you're helping the business and you're helping the client. It's cyclical. So yeah. Oh, it's an investment. Yes, okay, there's a cost to it. You've got to pay for it, of course. But in the end, you're investing in yourself. You can't look and go, right, okay, it's like electricity, it costs something. Electricity, you use it, is gone. This is life skills. They're things that are only gonna increase your value internally as a human being, and also for the fabric of the business that you're running. Wow. I mean, thinking back to the exact trigger now, I remember the other day I was thinking about the path that I went on to get to you guys. The ultimate trigger is that I know I'm meant for greater things. And I know that I've taken my life and the business to this certain point. And I need continually for someone to lift me up, to show me the direction and how. Because I was having a conversation with someone else the other day about this, which is if you want to go somewhere quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that's it. You need people around you to be able to help you see that vision that you've got and crystallize it so that you know that you can get there. I've got myself to here. I've got the business to here. I know where I want to go. I just needed direction and support. Wow. In the next 12 months, stratospheric, let's say. I wish I could put my hands up now and say to you, yeah, I'm gonna commit to some unbelievable goals. But I'm still taking it at the pace that I want to go. But certainly the path, the direction, I can't see where it stops, which is amazing. And I can think it can only get better along the way, every day, every month, every week. And the feeling that I've got is that it's going to be an amazing journey.